Well, all right, and welcome back to the exciting episode of the podcast. What's up, y'all?
Everybody?
Yeah, so glad to be here. I'm Sean. That over there is Brian.
What's up?
Man, I am, it's 2024. I am happy for a new year, and we get to kick things off with starting things over again, right? It's kind of like a lot of people, they want to start things over, trying, new leaf type thing. What do they call it? Resolutions. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah,
the word.
resolutions.
Yeah,
I got one myself. I would like to, hopefully for the last time, quit smoking again.
Yeah. Yeah, I have quit cigarettes for a couple of years now, but I still vape, as y'all well know. Y'all see me vaping all the time on here, but yeah, I mean, it's still a lot better than having a smoke-filled house where it's just covered everything up. Baby steps, you got to get there.
And your clothes and stuff too.
Yeah.
But before we get too deep into this, everybody,
right.
Please give us some thumbs, one up, one down, whatever. Throw us a comment, like, subscribe, all that stuff. We're still growing. We need it.
Yep, that's big. That'll be one of the things for 2024. We're going to grow.
Yes,
bigger and better. Because we had
grew.
Yeah, we had a good year to kind of figure things out, and like how to do things, and maybe gotten a little better. So I like to think we've grown for sure.
Yeah.
And as long as we do that this year again, we'll be all good. So I have no worries there. We may talk about some other stuff for 2024 coming up, but we'll see. Anyway, man, I am excited because CES is coming up soon on Tuesday, January 9th.
Yep.
Through the week, I believe it's Friday. It ends on the Friday. So what is that, the 15th or something like that? No, that's way too many days.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, but it's that Friday. So it starts on the Tuesday and ends that Friday. But it's one of the biggest shows.
So
where
12th.
Good deal. Cool. It'll be one of the bigger shows where you kind of find out, like, it sets the year up. Let's put it that way. It sets the year up for kind of what's going to come out for at least the first 2 quarters, and then we get into summertime, and then there's some other shows I think that come in around there to kind of round out the year for what's to come for Christmas and stuff like that. But this is a big one to kick things off. I mean, we're talking like, automotive stuff, home electronics, where it's TVs, laptops, gaming devices, phones, wearables, all this kind of stuff.
Anything and everything electronic based.
That's it. That's why it's Consumer Electronics Show. Yes.
Yeah, and I find myself wondering if it's going to hold out. One of the things that we didn't report on this year that's kind of big news is the ending of E3.
Yeah. I was actually, I'm glad you brought it up because I was going to mention E3 because at first I was really bummed about E3 going away. But then when I kind of saw how it was the last few years and just felt like, yeah, okay. I obviously, if it's not going to get supported, there's no point in doing it. It was a different thing back in the day. Back when a good friend of ours used to go, it was a very cool thing to do to be able to go because it wasn't open to everybody.
Yeah.
So, if you happen to be in the industry in some way or another, you could get to go. And they did way back then. And I remember hearing all about it and how cool it was. And but it's long since. That was 20 years ago, more than 20 years ago. That was about 23 years ago. So things change, and it was one of the bigger shows. Like, it was like a CES show. I mean, it was something where companies brought their wares out and talked about them, and that was the place to do it. It really was.
Demos out the yin yang, all kind of stuff you may never see again.
For real. So I don't know. CES, I don't think they have to worry about anything.
Well, I don't know. It's just a question. Like, obviously, cons are still successful to a point, but COVID hit every con hard, right? And
For sure.
I don't know. Coming back from that, it kind of seems to me like less people are interested in that type of interaction these days.
It's highly possible. but I suspect one is, as long as we don't have any kind of COVID type pandemic again, where we're all sitting at home for whatever time, that after a fashion they're going to forget.
Yeah.
And it may, if as long as they survive through it, then it'll come back and be fine. But I don't know. I mean, it's just the way social gatherings and people, the way people do things socially now is so different. So yeah, I can see your point on that.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm kind of out of touch on that because I've never been much of a con person. It's just too many people.
Well, I have done cons, but I just never had the money for it, man. I mean, it was always like, you can go do this con or you can be broke and not have shit.
Right.
And that's the way I looked at it. So obviously it was a matter of priorities. I would love to have done it many times. It's damn expensive. Even just the ones in, here in town, you be local and stuff and go to, it's just to get in the door, it's like, come on, man. But,
I hear you. I feel the same way, but even the big ones like PAX and whatnot. I mean, there's some cool stuff, but I'm not sure I was ever in the type of headset or mindset.
Mind space.
I don't know where headset came from. For that, that much interaction with that many people.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare to me.
Well, I tell you, it's no surprise. It seems the buzzword for all of CES, for most of the manufacturers there, is going to be AI.
Right.
For sure.
What everybody's been talking about for a while now.
Everything, man. I mean, you just can't get away from that word.
Yep.
It's everywhere. And anybody who's anybody in the tech industry, that's like their focus, man. Like NVIDIA, putting out the Grace Hopper this past year. So many players in the game. Microsoft, you got ChatGPT. It's crazy. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of weird that, I don't know, the effect that it seems like it's going to have, right? Like the idea is, for a lot of companies, AI is going to replace workers, right? Which is too much to expect at this point. And people who try to push that are probably going to have a rude awakening. I think we've mentioned that in the past, talking about AI.
Yeah.
But everybody wants to be on board, but it's machine learning, basically, right?
Yeah. My view of AI is it is something that has to be taken very carefully. And it is going to change us forever. Like, just like the Industrial Revolution did back in the late 19th century. This is going to be a similar type of turning point in man's history.
I think it's hard getting in touch with a human being in a service related role now. Just wait.
No doubt, man. I mean, dude, they're fairly good enough now to where they can just let the AI loose and the support lines and whatever. But yeah, it's funny you bring that up too, because I had that thought the other day that it's not going to be long that you're not going to have to worry about getting the Indian call center anymore, because they're just going to have an AI, hopefully with an accent you can understand. And maybe that's maybe that's a good thing, man. Maybe we're finally going to get away from the ridiculous accents in the call centers. I mean, it's a joke at this point, for sure.
I don't know, man. I've always had an issue with the AI support, similar to the issues I have with Google now, where you've got to. I used to be good at Google because you could do Boolean and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you knew how to interact with the system,
sure,
it was like that. You could get exactly what you needed on that first page immediately. And now it's like ads.
Yeah, I know, man. It's. I used to be such a Google disciple, man.
Yeah.
And they have become the thing I always thought they never wanted to be.
Yeah.
Well,
you get rid of that mission statement of do no evil.
Yeah. They've long. I hope that mission statement's been gone for a while, because they have long not adhered to it, for sure. But just a couple of things while we're talking about CES, in the gaming world, which we talk a lot about. The supercards from NVIDIA are finally going to get introduced, and we haven't seen Super since the 20 series.
Right.
The 3000s luckily got, well, I wouldn't say luckily, because although I don't agree necessarily with the strategy, the marketing strategy, I mean, they're going to make money somehow, but these are going to be better cards as long as they're priced right, because the market right now for video card prices is just stupid. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous.
I don't know, man. I don't see prices on anything getting any better unless something major happens.
I don't know. A lot of people seem hopeful that these will be less expensive. If that's true, man, like you get a 4070 Super, and you can get it less than the current 4070 or 4070 Ti even. You'd be doing damn good. And if NVIDIA cared, they would do that. We know NVIDIA doesn't, so we can expect that probably not to happen.
Right.
Yeah, it's sad. But AMD is also rumored to be launching its RX 7600 XT, which a lot of people are looking forward to. We all may be on AMD's one day, kids, because I don't think NVIDIA's got any interest in this market much anymore.
Right.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But AMD, I like AMD's balls, man. Like, they're not afraid to try shit.
Right.
And they listen, they seemed, at least now, they seem to listen to their user base. Because, these X3D chips that just kind of popped up was just kind of some, hey, wouldn't it be cool if and they try it and throw it out there for users and they love it and it works great, I mean, if they're the only ones besides, let's say, Intel, they'll be just as good as NVIDIA strictly for the fact that that's the place that'll have all the support. That's the reason AMD has the problems they're having, because you're having to deal with two companies vying for the same games,
right.
to be the one inside, the one main game. If NVIDIA is not around, it's just between Intel and AMD, then you're going to find that AMD's shit's going to work really well.
I don't know. I really haven't kept up much with like their complete arms of like chipset stuff. But that was what kind of prompted them to take the next level. They were already into chipsets.
Yeah.
When the first AMD processors came out.
Yeah. No doubt.
So they had a lot of knowledge and a lot of integration already going on. And I don't know, I kind of feel like maybe they've drifted away from that, but I don't know that for a fact.
Yeah, I don't know either. I know they're doing cool stuff though. I mean, look, Intel hasn't just released like the Threadripper. Intel's never done anything like that for anybody, and it's cool because it has a place. I mean, like workstation level desktops or whatever workstations, they have a place. I don't know what I was trying to say there. It was a hell of a word salad. But yeah, so that's on the graphics end. The monitor end of it, man. So last year was like the big thing was 240 hertz OLEDs. And so now we're looking for the 480 hertz OLEDs. And looks like LG's got like a pre-announced half dozen new gaming monitors, like 6 or 7 gaming monitors that are capable of the 480 at 1080p or 240 at 4K, which is pretty good. They claim to even have a 27-inch that can do up to 480 hertz at 1440p, which I'm sure costs a pretty penny when it comes out for sure. And Samsung also has apparently got one coming out, the Odyssey line, that'll do 360 hertz. So not bad, man. Because
I mean,
honestly, they're getting into refreshes that. Why? I mean, it gets to a point where you're just like, I mean, I guess in competitive gaming maybe, but at such a point, your eyes can't even distinguish anything.
Right.
So. I don't know. I think really for most things, 240 was probably more than enough.
I don't know, man. I think that would have to be you would have to get in touch with some of the professional gaming leagues and guys like Shroud and stuff like that back in the day. I don't
Yeah.
know how active he is now, but like, you would have to ask the people specifics, that apply to them.
Right. I mean, really,
But yeah, for
honest.
most of us, yeah,
Yeah, you're not gonna be able
240,
to
why not?
tell. It's
Yeah.
more than enough, and it's really just for the first person shooters anyway, mainly just to get
Mhm.
the ultimate smoothness. You know, the
Get
ultimate
those
movement.
headshots, baby.
Yeah, gotta hit that head quick. Uh, I got shit. That's a Navy joke. Um, phones, you won't see much in the phones world. The wearables world seems like there's not a lot going on there either. I don't know if people are kind of getting mild on that.
Well, I mean, as far as I know, wearables just haven't really taken off. They've only recently, revisited some of the old designs of wearables, and I think it had something to do with power. I don't know
Yeah,
exactly, like power heat sink type issues or
right.
something.
Yeah. Um,
Uh, but yeah, I mean, there's work being done, but as far as products being put out and products that people are interested in, not so much.
it's interesting because now it's gotten to where my wife actually wants a smartwatch, and we're kind of looking at the Google, the number 2. I forget what the Pixel 2 watch, I guess.
I know
So,
you're not looking at the Apple.
no, you damn right. You goddamn right.
Well, that's not even a choice for you anymore, right? I think didn't they have to do something because of I think it was like not copyright, but IP infringement of some sort,
It
like some
may,
of their
yeah,
designs
might be something like that, but I
were
mean, I'm
pulled
not
out.
getting anywhere near their crappy little ecosystem. Um, we looked at some of the Samsungs, which that's what I've always had my eye on. But this little Google Pixel watch, because they bought out Fitbit,
Yeah.
so they've got a lot of their technology in there. And for the price, why not? We'll see. I don't know if we're getting it anytime soon, but she may be getting one. She may be getting a tablet. We don't know yet.
Well, I'm sure it's not an issue anymore, but I've got a really old Fitbit, and it pisses me off, man.
Yeah, I got an old one too.
The main problem I have with it is I've got people that want to send me texts at way too early in the morning,
Mm,
and I can put my phone into sleep mode and
right.
it'll pass it off or whatever, but the Fitbit won't keep up. Anytime I get
Yeah.
an alert, if it's on me, it'll bzz.
Yeah, yeah, it sucks. Yeah, I'm glad they bought out Fitbit technology because the Fitbit itself was kind of just mid.
Yeah.
There you go, Gen Xers. I mean Gen Yers, whatever y'all are. ZY mid.
I heard my niece drop that on Christmas, and I just kind of laughed to myself. It's like, that's so mid, and I'm like, yeah. Because like to her, it's just, lingo or whatever.
Right.
But to me, it's like, that's obviously pulled from League of Legends, right? Like,
yeah. I'd always like to try and lift the one from Mad Max Fury Road where they say mediocre.
right.
I always liked that. Mediocre. I mean, why not? That's funnier anyway. At least it's from a movie that was around when they were growing up. Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
They got did you see where they had like the Furiosa movie coming up soon?
I did.
No Mad Max, I guess, but still, I liked her. I mean, so.
I mean, I liked the last Mad Max movie.
I did too.
I had no problems with it.
Did you see where they did they call it Chrome and Blood version or something like that, where it's in black and white? Originally, dude wanted to do it in black and white, and then the studios were like, "Are you crazy?" And but they had released it on Blu-ray as a black and white version. I got to see some screenshots of it. It looks pretty interesting, but I got to say, as much as I love that movie, I think I'd rather see it in color with all the explosions. And the explosions do look cool in black and white because when the way it's filmed, it's really, contrasty.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what I was gonna say. When it comes to like artistic vision, a lot of people want to go with black and white because it's got that mood. It's got contrast. And,
Yeah. Well, the explosions really look good.
Yeah, you can really kind of like focus the story as opposed to like, hey, here's an explosion and here's this color and this and that, where it's like, this is what's going on.
Yeah,
This is the story we're telling.
yeah. I
But
really
yeah,
enjoyed
as
that
far
movie.
as audiences,
Yeah, this is a good Mad Max movie in my opinion. I love Tom Hardy too.
I do
I
too.
like him a lot.
Awesome
He's a
actor, man.
great actor. But anyway, I guess that's all I really have to say about CES. Yeah. Um, I look forward to seeing what comes out for sure. I always love seeing what new stuff is coming along down the pipe. You got anything specific you're looking forward to seeing?
Not really, man. To be perfectly honest, I'm still on edge of something busting on my computer
Yeah.
and not being able to afford to replace it.
Oh man, that's the worst feeling in the world, dude. I was there for so long, man. There's nothing like being able to like go, hey, I can buy a computer.
Right.
Yeah, it's a rare thing that I don't know how often I'll see. But I am looking forward most to finding out what these prices of the super cards are going to be, because even though this 3060 I've got is not that old, if I can get a 4070 Super for a good price, I will jump one in a heartbeat. Mainly for the fact that I really need it in my flight simulator, dude. I got to have that frame gen. I have a frame gen hack. I don't know if you're aware of that frame gen hack from when AMD had released the open source for the FSR3.
You mentioned it.
Yeah.
In regards to your game once.
I ended up using it for most of this week. I just took it out today, and I mean it does okay, but there's a lot of like ghosting and stuff. I may have mentioned that before, but I was like, fuck it, maybe I can, because I'm using this other program too. That's like a level of detail changer on the fly, so it can help keep stutters out if I get into an area that has a lot of scenery. It'll be lower detail where it won't hurt me too bad. So I'm just going with that.
Upload a little bit.
Yeah. Kicks back to DirectX 11, which uses less memory. All kinds of tricks that you can do. And this simulator's, it's so fucking weird, dude, because you can just have it perfect one day, get in it the next day, and it's just like it's a ghost, man. Like it's got a mind of its own. It's crazy. Yeah. Talking about Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 for those that don't know. And in my quest of, you know how I just love tooling around YouTube all the time. I come across this most angelic of voices and most interesting of bands called Heilung.
Right.
And man, for anybody that likes like Viking music or just I don't know, just folk music, I guess, even just this chick, Maria Franz, has just got an awesome voice, and it's very tribal sounding. It's the band's basically basing everything off medieval Germanic tribes. So there's a lot of different cultures in there, but they're all Germanic, and they do all different languages. Like they have some English in there, but like Old High German, regular German, Nordic, a bunch. I can't even list all the ones that they do, but you should check them out. Heilung, though, the song to check out, like this, just one of the greatest songs. It's off their newest album. It's called Anoana, and it's incredible. The crazy thing is, brother, they were just here up in Huntsville like 2 months ago, and I'm so pissed because 5 dates in the whole of the United States, and they came here. I couldn't fucking believe it. I didn't even know
weren't even on your radar at that point.
Yeah, and so who knows if they'll ever come back around this way. But I was just blown away that in 5 dates in the States that was one of them.
Well, let's just say that, that type of music is probably popular in Huntsville.
I guess I could see that. I could see your point. I don't know. Well, then maybe that's a good thing, because maybe they'll come back. I hope they liked it, because I got to check it. Dude, just the live versions I've seen on YouTube, I was like, oh my God. Because I'm comparing it to the studio track, which is very good, but just you can put yourself in the room, and you can say, God, I just couldn't imagine how you would feel this, because I don't want to just hear it, I want to feel it.
Yeah.
You know, all the bass and the vibrations and everything from the drums, because they got these big old, they hand make all their instruments, big old drums, you know, with skins on the top of them and shit. And yeah, it's really good stuff. I suggest
Yeah,
you check it out.
I kind of feel that way with a few things, you know, comparing the studio to the live version. And one thing that
Mhm.
always sticks out for me is Big Come Down, or Big Let Down. It's a Nine Inch Nails song.
Yeah,
And it's weird because every live performance for that was unique because of the modulation
just
was
slightly.
never the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that might drive me nuts. But that's also to me how you can tell how good a band is. If they sound as good on the record or better, then you know they're a proper band.
Yeah.
Um, that whole night I was into it sent me down a rabbit hole of finding these guys doing these low bass singing, and I found this great version of Hoist the Colors from Pirates of the Caribbean. And these guys doing these low, I mean, fucking dude, ball dragging the ground low notes. I mean, just incredible. So I'm gonna try to put some links in either cards, or I might actually try and put some of the actual damn videos in, which will lead me into a segue uh, about YouTube and its goddamn copyright bullshit, and how I see other people with shit, and it's like, what the fuck, over, and you get pinged. Oh, you won't get shown in the UK if you have this in your video, so I have to pull it out, kind of shit, dude. They're gonna do that one too many times with me, and I'm just gonna take all our shit and pack it up and stay on X/Twitter, because as of last week, we are officially posting straight to X and here at
Okay.
YouTube.
Sweet.
So yeah, it's new year. We're starting with new things. So now I have the capability. They hold enough to where we can put up our videos, especially if we go long on videos. So yeah, it's got the capability now. I didn't have that a year ago when we started this, so it wasn't even a thing.
Yeah, dude, that's always ticked me off about YouTube. I roll through all of these like people who are like YouTube celebrities kind
Yeah.
of or whatever, and
Uh-huh.
they'll have all that crap in there
Yep.
and never have to worry about copyright. Meanwhile, like I've got 3 seconds of some random song that
Yep.
nobody knows about in something, and they're like, hey,
Well, dude, I'll give you a fine fucking example. I got two of them in my head, but the last one of the major last ones was the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer came out.
yeah,
Every motherfucking gaming site and his brother had this trailer all up and down through their shit. Now, granted, I just showed it. I just put it in there while we were talking, and just had it going in the background. There's no sound in anything I do. It's just just for you to see while we're talking. And this thing's just going on start to finish. Now, I don't know if they got away with just because they chop it up and do whatever, because I did try that this past week and I seemed to got away with it. I don't know if I would have gotten dinged if I'd have put the whole thing or not. Another one was the Doctor Who. It was coming up next week, which was fucking bullshit, dude. So I have this little trailer coming up next week, which is doing nothing but promoting their shit for them,
yeah,
right? No sound or anything even in it, just showing some clip, and it says, "Oh, you won't. People in the UK won't see this." I'm like, fucking hell. Well, it turns out we got somebody that fucking actually subscribes that is from the UK, so I'm not gonna be the dick that just doesn't, I don't know. Maybe since he subscribes, he'll get it anyway. But it just makes me mad. 'Cause you know how much I love the UK anyway. I don't want to cut out a potential piece, especially since it's an English speaking place.
yeah.
So obviously, it's going to be somewhere that we're gonna want those viewers.
Honestly, I think it's these copyright trolls. I think they have like whitelist or like, yeah, I guess it would be a whitelist, or you could say it's a blacklist of content creators that they just don't mess with anymore, because the idea is just to push it and basically troll, right? And back in the day, the thing was you send a response, you know include specific lines that apply to copyright law and Creative Commons and all this other stuff. And if you did that like all the time, eventually they would just stop.
Just leave you the fuck alone.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think they probably have like inherited list,
Right.
and probably still have them, which is why some of these personalities that have been on the channel or the platform for years and years and years probably don't even get messed with.
Probably not. I don't know. All I do know is that I don't think Twitter/X or X/Twitter is going to give me any problem with that shit. At least now, at the moment, I don't think they fucking give a fuck about copyright. Seems that way. They're not, well, they're certainly not going through my video like YouTube is, with a fine tooth comb.
Yeah.
From what I can
don't
tell.
know. I don't interact a lot with most social media, right?
Well, I mean, I can tell you that the upload time and getting it straight out is definitely a lot quicker. So there's no way they're sending the whole algorithm through there trying to sift through and decide yeah, it's definitely not like YouTube. It may get that way, just from pressure. But as of now, if I could have put that video up a couple weeks ago, I probably would have said, fuck YouTube and just put it up on X. Because I was mad about it, dude. I was hot about it because this is something we just started doing in the last couple months was adding more visual content in there. And that was a good fucking chunk of content, man. I mean, I didn't cut us talking and all that shit out. I just cut the fucking video out. But then I got to go pull everything out, re-upload it, redo everything. I think for the Doctor Who one, it took me 4 times before I got it to where it would accept it. I think I kept messing with it to try and see what I could get away with, and then finally I said, "Fuck it," it's not worth my trouble, man.
Well, also this is another issue of the gate closing, right?
Right.
People would get on here and they would have like hobby channels or whatever, and so they got in on the ground floor, and things changed, and kind of closed the door behind them, and it wasn't necessarily the creators; it's the platform.
Yeah, well, we can talk about that too, because I'll tell you something that I noticed big time since the turn of the year here in this week is a lot of creators getting out there and talking about how bad their channels are doing.
Yeah.
Well, guess what, guys? COVID's been over for a while now, and y'all got fucking famous off of people sitting on their asses, most of you. So you're feeling the crunch. The other thing is these shorts. Now, I mentioned we may talk about it, and I guess I will now because we already are talking about kind of stuff we're doing, and that's the shorts. I don't know whether or not I am looking into it. If I can do it from my computer, fine. But if I have to whip my phone out to do fucking shorts, I'm going to be a mad motherfucker, and it won't get done because I don't want to edit on my phone.
Yeah.
Well,
you can go back to Linus as well on that. It's become like a content arms race. You have to put out so much for the algorithm to, put you in their pocket that it's you have to have a full crew making sure that you hit these markers.
No doubt. And a lot of his is self-imposed too, so he takes it to an extreme, I think. But I don't know. Like YouTube, I mean, like shorts is where it's at, but I don't agree with that concept, man. I mean, people's attention spans need to get longer, not shorter.
I don't know, man. I'm guilty of being on that side. I will go and try to look up something, and if I have to, well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, if I'm looking for something, I'm not looking to get sucked in. I'm looking for specific data, and I don't want to have to sit through 30-minute, hour-long video to get what I'm looking for, and I'll hit 6 5-minute videos instead.
Yeah, well, that's what happens with me though. You go through the search, and I'm looking at all the long form stuff, and then the shorts are kind of wedged in between there, and I'll see, well, oh shit, there's one I actually want to see. Then I click on it, right? Well, what's the fucking next thing that happens? I actually, I'll scroll just to see the next one. Most inevitably, you're going to scroll to see the next one, and boom. Oh, that's interesting. And then you scroll to see the next one, and you're like, fuck. And you realize for 30 minutes you've been scrolling through these videos, and you're like, dude, I've been wanting to look at regular YouTube videos. I'm out here in this trash.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Death Scroll's nothing new. We just called it a rabbit hole back in the day.
Yeah, no doubt. So, I mean, you could very well see shorts from us coming up this year. It's a possibility. I am exploring possibilities with that. And like I said, if things don't get better as far as YouTube, then I guess it's just going to be all X all the time. Where we're free, baby, to rip people's videos off all we want to. Dude, I swear I think we could get away with having our watch along there and actually have the video on the screen while we're watching it.
Maybe.
But yeah. Or at least in the background, like it could be behind us or something going on while we're talking. And then everybody else could we do that 3, 2, 1, hit your remote type deal. And it could everybody be synced with us. That's the way a lot of people would do it. I still have interest in wanting to do that as well, but we'll see what happens. I want to get a live stream this year done. We never got around to that. We'll see. It's so weird because to test a live stream, you just have to do it.
Yeah.
You have to be live. So it's one of those things I've always stayed away from because I want to try it. But I'm like, what am I going to do? And then I'm going to have this live stream of me looking like a jackass, moving the fucking microphone around and shit. Fucking whatever it is, But anyway.
Well, you can always go back and look at some of my old crap to get an idea of what not to do.
Right.
But yeah, it is a learning curve, and like you said, that's the only way to do it is to dive right in and accept. You have to accept that it may be okay, but some things are going to go wrong, and it's just out of your hands, man.
Yeah. Well, that's the way it is, and we're just going to go with the flow. That's what we've been doing. It seems to be working. We haven't taken any steps backwards, which is good. So, alrighty then. I don't know. I don't really have anything else. You got anything else?
I don't know. You not want to talk about Last Starfighter? I don't really care. I remember loving the old one.
Well, I mean, I have that note on there. Like I said, that's just, there's really not much to say other than that there's a lot of interest from people such as even like the Kurt and Wyatt Russell. They've showed interest in trying to get something going. Who was the other big name recently? I was trying to. It's been in this hell of the original author who came up with it, like had some rights issue back in the day. He finally got his rights straightened out, and he's being uber careful about who he lets do the deal. So I think they have somebody like he's happy with. I really don't know, but yeah, I'd like to see a Last Starfighter reboot. They say, I think the guy, like I said, it would be he'd be continuing it. So it would be an extension. He said it would be the characters older, and I guess it would be their kids. They get into it. And he said it wouldn't be like an 80s, love fest or whatever. Obviously it's in the modern times and shit. So don't expect like you're going back in time to relive your childhood type thing.
It'd be a little disrespectful to not have a throwback or two in there, though, right?
Sure, absolutely. Well, I hope there'll be that kind of thing, a little nod to the past for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't really have a lot to say. I just was wondering. I was going to bring it up to see if you even had heard about it. Just
I have. I mean, I haven't heard anything specific. I've just seen it pop up here and there. Something talking about the Last Starfighter reboot, but never really clicked on it. But I do remember loving the original.
Yeah, great movie. One of the very first uses of CG.
Yeah. I mean, it was up there with, Star Wars and everything else for me. Maybe not as rich, but definitely visceral in a way.
Yeah,
right?
It was a good story. Yeah, for me as a kid, I loved it. Honestly, it is just great things. It did. It had a lot of a Star Wars appeal to it. Whereas so many movies were getting thrown around like that, and really none of them caught on. But that is one that did. For sure. Star Trek did, but it already had its own kind of thing going, so it didn't need to, ride the coattails of Star Wars.
Right.
Even though it did, in a way. That's why they threw, the original motion picture of Star Trek was just supposed to be Phase 2, another television show. And Paramount wanted a Star Wars movie so bad. I mean, a Star Wars-like movie. They were like, well, hey, we got the Star Trek franchise. So Phase 2 became the motion picture.
Yeah.
Interesting, huh?
Well, There were some great Star Trek movies,
Yes, there were indeed. Most of the even number ones.
right?
That's how it works. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, so 2024 is going to be a good year for us. I can feel it, and there'll be a lot of different things happening. So keep your eye out. Keep watching. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you like or dislike us. And as always, people, be excellent to each other. And we'll see you on the flip side. Peace
Thanks,
out.
everybody.
Yeah. It's my James Hetfield thing.